Let's talk about rapid cell regeneration. I don't just have a body armor suit with an portable EMP bomb. I learned this from alien technology due to photonic and sonic warfare elsewhere. It's a long story I've talked to others about recently. I also have rapid cell regeneration. My cells regenerate 10 times the speed of the rest of you. I have what's called a condition, previously known as a skin condition. It's not a condition, this is an evolutionary adaptation. This is effectively God mode. When I'm damaged, there's an immune system response that can happen, which regenerates my cells at 10 times the speed. It's just part of my genome. This isn't just a broken part of DNA or anything like that. It's not that. All my genetic and physiological anomalies, these are evolutionary. So my cells regenerate at 10 times the speed. You can look up this so-called condition and the cell regeneration and everything involved in this. Those who are not pure bloods like me, who have inherited part of my genome, a small amount of people in the world, very small, they have some minor level of functionality to this regeneration process. And it's usually easily treatable with corticosteroids and stuff like that. But they've got a broken part of something that's an evolutionary function. It exists for a reason. I'm a pure blood, and this is part of my genome, and it exists for a reason, for protection and for, let's just say, warfare. I can effectively regenerate cells like Wolverine, but it's a double-edged sword. So what happens is once this functionality is turned on, I'll regenerate, I'll heal up the damage done to me, but it won't switch off. And the reason why it doesn't switch off, because when I'm receiving damage like this, and after that I go into regeneration mode, if it was to switch off after healing, I will keep getting damage and it'll have to be switched on again. So it switches on until the job is done. And it takes a long time, if ever, to switch back off. So when I'm receiving damage and I go into regeneration, I will heal, and then I'll keep healing, and I'll effectively overheal. And when I overheal, if I don't take enough damage, my body starts looking like Deadpool under his suit. And so I effectively need to be damaged in order to maintain perfect health. I get sick if I overheal, and I get sick as a result of that. The regeneration process itself causes damage if I'm not damaged. So I need my cells to be damaged faster than my body can shed them. So what happens is my cells will regenerate, and my body can't shed those shells and get rid of them fast. They're just regenerating too fast. So a long time ago, it was so bad that this is just when it comes to my skin, not including my joints and everything like that. I would vacuum my floor, and when I was in like a high state of regeneration, within a week I would shed that much skin that my floor would be white from skin. Just in a week, like snow all over my floor just from growing that many cells. I was going to say something else about this regeneration. What was it? I'll just pause it for a second. Hang on. That's what I was going to say. So I don't just have this God mode cell regeneration. I also have, I'm genetically immortal. So what happens when your cells divide in cell mitosis, there's a little bit at the end of your DNA called telomere or telomerase. Is every time your cell replicates itself, that this extra portion at the end of the DNA, which is the end of your DNA is pretty much empty, and this empty section, and each time your cell divides, a piece of that end is cut off. So you've got a limited lifespan of cell generations that happen. Since I generate so many cells, I just keep going and going and going, pumping them out, I would get cancer. So what happens is when the end of the telomere gets cut off, it starts eating into the end of your DNA, and your DNA becomes less and less functional at the time, and it starts fusing itself together to compensate, and you get cancer and all kinds of stuff. So people like me, even people who have semi-functional of part of my DNA, they don't get cancer. So why don't they get cancer when they should be cutting out all their telomeres? And what's going on? So what's been discovered in recent years is that we are actually able to regenerate. Also, we regenerate our very own DNA. So all the end of the DNA that's been slowly cut off, we can actually start regenerating that back again. So which means that we have cell immortality. We can just keep reproducing cells over and over and over. Doesn't mean that we're immortal, physically immortal. You put a gun to my head. My bones are stronger than yours, but I'm pretty sure, an armor-piercing bullet's going to go through my head. But if you want to put a bullet in my head, you still can't defeat me because there's other shit going on there as well. But you'll be able to put a bullet in my brain and kill this body, for sure. But I'm genetically immortal. What else? I'll just put on pause. There's so much I wanted to say here. I just want to say a few basics. So I'll just say that those who have the small number of people in the world who have some part of this DNA that it manifests this so-called condition, I've got the full genome here, the full functionality of this thing. And some people ask me, can I regenerate limbs? Well, I've got impaled by shit and all kinds of things have happened to me, but I've never, to my knowledge, I've never had to grow back a limb yet. So until I lose a limb, we'll find out. But so I have the full functionalities. I don't have this in my skin. So the people who have this so-called condition, who aren't purebloods, who have the full genome, they'll experience this condition. They'll just usually experience it on their skin, only just mildly. On a very tiny amount, who have more potent DNA, they'll start experiencing it severely, and they'll have the drawbacks of too much cell regeneration, and their bodies won't be able to purge their cells fast enough, and that usually manifests in their skin. Others, even a smaller minority, they'll start having it underneath their skin, into their joints and stuff like that. I've had problems with a form of arthritis, which is actually from an overgrowth of cells, not from it being worn down. It's the opposite, so it's actually reversible. You just need to grind the fuck out of I just need to damage myself, pretty much it. I just damage myself to heal. I have to damage heals me. And I overheal, and I need damage to balance everything out. So this is a form of arthritis. You look this up yourself. You'll see what I'm talking about. Psoriatic arthritis. So those of us like me who is pure blood, this isn't just in my skin. This isn't in my bones. This is from skin to bone, head to toe. So when the Russians start using my technology and everyone is shitting themselves over that, and I've been talking about using this technology in a body armored suit for several years now, and everyone thought I was full of crap. When you look up this stuff about my rapid cell regeneration, you look this stuff up and see I'm not just making this up. This is all for real. Everything I say is for real. I just recently spoke about alien technology. Go find yourself a physicist or something and show them what I'm talking about. You see what they have to say about that, and we'll see who's full of shit. Some final things I forgot to mention was, if you go through my story, you'll see that I was put through a whole lot of government experiments and all kinds of shit. I could talk a lot on that. But I was the only one that survived this shit, and it put me into regeneration mode. I survived what no one should be able to survive. And this happened over and over again. And the government and these so-called research companies, they wanted to know why I wouldn't fucking die. And why I was able to survive this shit. I was like the only one who survived out of thousands of other people who were put through this shit, and I just kept living. And not that it didn't do damage; it did a lot of damage to me, but it put me into regeneration mode. And there were consequences of that. So they kept offering me a lot of money to go overseas and be their guinea pig, and so-called take one for the team. Apparently it was my debt to humanity to let them study me and find out why the fuck I wouldn't die. And that all started. I was first accidentally caught a man-made virus from Newcastle, it was being transported to Sydney, and the van crashed, and a whole lot of people died from it. And then those of us who caught this man-made virus were given immune system suppressants. This is in my story. This is more details of what happened. We were given immune system suppressants so that our immune system wouldn't kill the virus, so they could experiment on and see what damage it could do to. So that immune system suppressant itself killed a lot of people, and that's where the spiral of experiments and all kinds of shit happened. And one more thing with this cell regeneration, in order to try and treat the overgrowth of cells, they actually tried to use radiation on me. They put me through a PVUA radiation chamber, and tried to basically nuke me over and over and over, and it failed, completely failed. I had, obviously, as always, the only person who had this strange reaction to it. It didn't make my cells stop growing; they grew even faster. And my whole body turned into it, like it went all red and swollen, and my cells just went into overdrive regeneration, and so a lot happened there. There's a lot I could say on this stuff. I don't want to take too much in this video, but maybe I'll do a more detailed video of this later. There's one video I did a while back. If you go through my videos, it explains some of the medical experiments and shit that were done to me. So if you want any more details on that, you can have a look at that. This video explains why I survived. And this is not some bizarre mutation. It's not one mutation, it's not two mutations. It's a whole genome. A whole functional genome that evolved to be this way.